In the previous video, we walked through getting set up with Bruno so that you can start making API requests against the Credyt API and following along with these tutorials that we have in our doc site. So in this video, we're going to look at a quick start, and our quick start guide takes you through getting up and running with Credyt in just a few minutes. We walk through setting up a product, creating a customer, pre-funding that balance so that you can then see send usage and see the balance being debited, checking the balance via the API, and launching the customer portal. Now, to make this really easy to follow along, although we do include all of the API requests that you can make directly within the tutorial itself, we also have our Bruno collection. And as I mentioned, if you followed the previous video, you can download Bruno, download our collection, and then start making the same API requests. So I've done exactly that, and I can open up our quick start guide here and start working through the requests. Now, before we can start billing for usage, we need to tell Credyt about our products and how we charge for our products. So in this example, we're going to keep things really simple, and we are going to do what we call unit pricing for our product. And with unit pricing, what we are doing is we are charging per instance or per event that occurs, in this case the event being video promoted. We'll dig into some of the other usage types that we support, such as volume-based billing in the future. But in this case, what we are saying is that every time one of these video promoted event occurs, we're going to charge the customer 50 cents. So I'm going to send this request, and now our product is created. Once our product's created, we can create customers and subscribe them to that product. So let's move on to the next request. In the next request, we are providing some details about our customer, the name, an optional external ID so that you can refer to customers using your own references. Just makes the integration a little bit easier. And of course, the product code that we've just created that we want to subscribe the customer to. So I'm going to hit this request, and you can see that we've created this customer called Sean Miller, and they've now got a subscription to this glitch video standard product that I've created, and the status is active. With that in place, we will automatically provision any wallet accounts that correspond to the billing currency or billing asset that has been set up for that particular product. In this case, if we switch back to the product configuration itself, you can see we're billing in USD. And I can actually go ahead and pre-fund the customer's balance with $1,000. Now, there are a number of ways that a customer can add credit to their account. If they are doing it themselves, they would typically do a top-up, but we also have a lower level wallet API that you can use to either make adjustments directly to the wallet, or if you're operating a hybrid scenario where you're using another billing platform to collect the funds, you can then credit the wallet directly. So we're going to do that now and send $1,000 to pre-fund that balance. With that done, the customer now has $1,000 of credit. We can start sending usage events at this point, but first what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump ahead, and I'm actually going to check the customer's balance, and I can see indeed that they have $1,000 of credit now. The next thing we want to do is start sending usage events. So you may recall that we are pricing for this video promoted event, and a number of fields that we can send in an event configuration. The required ones are the ID, the event type, when the event occurred, but you can also attach arbitrary data within this event, as well as a subject which might be your reference for the activity or workload that has occurred. So I'm just going to send a couple of these events. You don't need to configure anything because we're generating all these variables automatically within Bruno. So I'm going to send 2 video promoted events, assuming that this is the activity the customer has occurred within our product. Now, if I go back to this check customer balances endpoint, I can see that indeed $1 has been debited from the account. I can also view this at a more detailed level by retrieving the account directly. So you'll see we can pass in the name of the account. In this case, it's default USD, and I'll see any pending amounts, as well as the available balance. The final thing that we want to do is to actually show the experience that the customer would see. So how do they check their balance? How do they see their usage? This is one of the common issues that we see with companies switching over to usage-based or real-time billing. It's quite a big consumer shift, and one of the issues is around transparency. So if you're switching to a arguably more complex pricing model, how do you make it really simple for your users to understand where their balance is, where they're being debited, what they're being charged for, and so on. So we make that really easy in Credyt. So to launch the customer portal, you pass in your customer ID. We have a couple of return URLs. We'll dig into that in a future video. For now, we can just send this request and it's going to generate a portal link. I'm going to copy this from my Bruno request, or response rather, and paste this into my browser. And you'll see that indeed now I'm logged in as Sean Miller, so this is a pre-authenticated link. There's no need for your users to pre-register with Credyt or anything like that. You are responsible for authenticating your users and then generating these links. And I can see that indeed my balance is $999. I can see a chart with my recent usage, and even more granular than that, I can dig into both the usage itself and exactly what was done, how much it cost me. This is even more valuable when you get into volume-based pricing, where you're actually billing on something such as number of minutes of generated content or input tokens if you're using AI, if you're servicing the AI pricing model, as well as the balance history, where we see the exact transactions that have occurred against the balance. So in this case, we can see the initial pre-funded top-up, as well as the fees that have been debited. So there you go. In just a few minutes, we have got up and running. We've created a product using unit-based pricing. We've sent some usage data. We pre-funded the customer balance, and then we've opened up the customer portal, which gives your customers an amazing billing experience without you having to build all of this out yourself. So you can focus on building great products.